Thank you so much, everyone. On hand to receive the president as soon as he arrives is the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, members of the Executive Council, including the National Security Advisor Babangana Monguno, the Chief of Staff to the President Abba Kyari, the presidential aides, governors of Bauchi and Imo State also on hand. Last-minute security checks, we understand, are ongoing as the president is expected any moment from now. There you see on your screen activities there as the president is being expected. You can see on the top of your screen there. And as soon as the president lands, you will see it, you will know it as Channels Television, the nation's #1 news and current affairs station. Thank you, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation right here. We've spoken to governors and leaders of the APC. Let's get back to the analysis for our guest this afternoon, Mr. Wahab Shitu, Mr. Jiti Ogunye. Let me quickly come to you, Mr. Jiti Ogunye. The Lion King, that's how he has been described, the president. And when he says there is a conversation online between Senator Shehu Sani and the wife of the president about how jackals and hyenas have taken over and how the Lion King will return to come and take charge. From all of this, what does that mean? That kind of conversation, that kind of rhetoric, what does it mean? Is it that there is somewhat of a political maneuvering going on in the corridors of power?
You know, I respect the right to freedom of speech, the right to express oneself. I express myself as clearly and as pungently and as sincerely as anybody can. And so I won't condemn anybody for, but I didn't quite fancy those imageries, those metaphors. Who are the hyenas and jackals? I presume that the First Lady was referring to Nigerians. That's quite derogatory. And even for the other one that could be regarded as positive, Nigeria is a republican democracy. It's a constitutional democracy. I don't want my president to be referred to as a king. My president is not a king, he's a president. And I don't want him to be referred to as a lion. But, you know, if you are gifted, either with a gift of the gab or on the literary side, you can play up imageries, you can use such kind of words to describe your true intentions and all that. But to the substance now, yes, we understand, and I perfectly understand, that there are people who are just angry with this president for no reason. They are naysayers. There are people who are angry that Nigerians decided to change their government from a ruling party to an opposition party, who have been bellyaching from day one. So they are not going to give this president a chance to even succeed. There are such people in our polity. But you know, when you are in the presidency, and I'm not talking about the president alone, you have to be very presidential. And that's why I said that even in the face of provocation, the admonition I gave earlier, that the media team of the president does not have to engage in vindicatory condemnation. Anybody could have staged a protest, resume or resign. So the president has resumed now. He's going to resume. So that means that protest will escapade. It will evaporate, right? So if tomorrow they then start saying resume or resign, you will say, okay, you have the right to protest, but you are just sounding like a broken record, right? So I think that in democracy, we accommodate all sorts of opinion. And this television station demonstrates it often by bringing all shades of opinions, you know, to bear on any national discourse. Big parties, small parties, fringe parties and all that. Because it's democratic to do so. You are not going to build a democratic culture when you only allow the strong and the powerful to have a voice. And the weak and the less powerful are then not given a voice at all. So you allow such things to happen. Yes, it's true that the people who are angry And it's not about whether Buhari performs or not. They're just angry. You know, when someone who, for example, my learned friend here, I referenced it earlier in a tweet, and Femi Fani-Kayode was saying the president was chased out of Abuja House. That's cruel. That's not something to say, right? But he said it. I respect your right to say what you have to say, but I can critique what you are saying. It's even indecent. Because you can criticize the president. I have criticized this president. I have said information has not been well managed. And I have expressed the hope, the sincere hope, that Nigeria will no longer, not just this president, will no longer be going abroad to be spending money because it has a lot of implications for us. I don't see British monarchs, prime minister, coming to Nigeria to come for medical. So you can talk about those ones.
One of the implications is that Mr. Garba did say last week or so that, in fact, there was a government official who took a file to the president in London to sign, and the president had to send the president back to Nigeria to say there's an acting president. Would you take away the fact that there are maneuverings within the political landscape, even within the corridors of power, those whom feel not too happy and those who are fighting for power and taking advantage of the fact that the president was away?
Of course, those are the facts of our life. You know, what do you think is happening in the White House now that is said to be in a state of disarray? That's a democracy that is over 200 years old. Maneuvers, undercutting, supplanting are necessary elements in a political environment. You know, people will politic. There are people who go into politics not because of service, who just want to fester their own nest, right? So there will be such people.
Okay.
We're not discounting that.
We need to tell our viewers, sorry to bump into what you're saying, we need to tell our viewers now that in the next 10 minutes or so, President Buhari will land in Abuja. So brace up everyone as we will give you that live visual as more crowd there, as you see. That's Abuja, live for you. So we will tell you more and give you the benefit of first-hand information that you can get here on Channels Television. The president will land in Abuja any moment from about 10 minutes. So keep it locked here. So, Mr. Ogunye, let me allow you to land before I come into Mr. Shiti.
Yes, there will be such people. But, you know, even when there are such interplay of forces, political forces, who want to take certain positions, who want to undercut people, who want to, be greedy for power, who want to engage in power grab. You know, once you have a president that is very focused, and I'm reaching for the word that Madam El-Rufai used earlier, you know, that the president should refocus. When you have a president that is well focused and is ready and willing and able to ensure that due process is followed, the rule of law is followed, those who are in certain positions are allowed to discharge the functions of their offices, respective offices, I think everything will be fine. So all these other persons that may be jostling for relevance, for positions, who want to engage in power grab, can then be kept at bay. It's always present in all administration. I give you an example. Even during a military administration, it was said that it was not a rumor that the relationship between late Sani Abacha, General Abacha, and President Babangida is still alive now, was so unique that sometimes, as the chief of army staff, Sani Abacha would do certain things rather than, you know, question him. The president will allow him because he's become so powerful, and he will rather just find a way around it to ensure that the system was stabilized. So there's such things that happen in government, really, and even elsewhere, this kind of thing does happen. There are people who are usually very powerful in an administration more than the power their offices carry.
Oh.
They're people like that.
All right, Mr. Shitu, what do you think will be the immediate implications of the arrival of the president as soon as it touches down? For example, Monday morning in Aso Villa, what kind of atmosphere do you think we'll be seeing?
Well, the health of the president is tied to the health of the country. Now that the president is back, they will say that the battery of the country is fully charged. It's fully charged. And we now know that there's somebody now in the saddle with full powers. And that's why I was trying to make reference to the period of the acting president. He was very, very, very diplomatic, very tactful, very loyal. And you see the chemistry between the acting president and the president. And now